got distracted.
Well, welcome to the Must Love Yarn cast. We got to figure out that double yarn there. It's a little annoying, but it's all right.
The yarn cast of Must Love Yarn? I don't know. That sounds a little long to do.
It's a little pretentious.
Right. Whereas hereby we present to you
the yarn cast of Must Love Yarn. Welcome.
All right, well, there you are.
We're back. Normal schedule.
That's right. 2 times in a row on schedule.
What's happening?
Stranger things have happened, but not often.
So we are here in our yarn shop in Shelburne, Vermont, where we're going to talk to you about some fun things, show you some current projects, and at least most of the projects that we're working on, the yarn you can buy here. Some not so much, because we do buy yarn other places.
Yeah, the mixture here.
Thing. But you know, we're here to show you some stuff, hopefully inspire you. If you want more inspiration, you can check out the store in person. You can follow us on Instagram. Come join our group on Ravelry.
Hopefully I'll be on Instagram again.
Right, we're going to try to do that when we get done
Sorry.
with our yarn cast today, because
it's going to be one of those days.
Technology issues.
Right. I got a new phone.
Yeah.
And I don't know how to make... the store Instagram is... Somehow it let me back into the Facebook thing. No big deal, but they won't let me into the Instagram account.
Well,
like, what? Come on, Meta. Get your stuff together.
Aren't you connected? You can get into one but not the other. Who knows?
It's been very bizarre to me in all seriousness that those two things are not the same.
I know. Anyway.
Because they are the same.
So, I'm Angela.
I'm Jen.
And you can find me on social media, Instagram and Ravelry as a Junior Bird Kid.
And you can find me on Ravelry as J. Arbuckle, and you can find my personal account on Instagram at Jennifer_Arbuckle, which is still active.
Yes.
And shortly I will also be posting back on the store account. You can always tell when it's me.
Yes.
And we talked about Threads last time, but none of us have done anything to make that happen, except for I have a Threads account as well, apparently, but I forget about it sometimes.
Awesome. That's amazing.
Yes.
Yes, and that Junior Bird Kid is my personal account, so you'll see all kinds of stuff up there. Maybe some things you don't want to see. So, some knitting content.
Yeah, knitting.
Yeah, and crochet content every once in a while.
Ever.
Because I like to live dangerously.
Yes. I can only grasp one task at a time.
All right. So we like to start our yarn cast with a yarn cast pick. And we one of the things we do is we kind of just wander the store and be like, what do we have? What's new?
What do we want to give to people as an offering?
So we're going to do something a little special because we're going to up the percentage off this go around.
Get ready
for this yarn. So we're gonna do 20% off, but it's only for 3 colorways of a yarn.
We have a lot of it, and it's awesome yarn. So we don't completely understand
why
people.
Well, I think I understand why.
Their presentation.
Yes. So what we have for you is 3 colorways of our Regia Perfect yarn, and you can see the commonalities of these yarns. It's got this white yarn on the outside.
No, who wants white socks, you think to yourself?
Right.
That's what you're thinking right now. I know you are.
Right. And so I think this is part of the problem. But if you look at the ball band, you can see it's this really nice stripe. So this one's like a navy and white. This one's a brown and white.
And
this is also a navy
and
white, but it has a little red and gray stripe.
Right at the top. Look at that, just for fun.
Right there.
Behind that yellow.
So these are colors
that we think are undervalued and underappreciated.
Yes. So it's 1341, which is this one, which is the white and blue. Which is also called Rugen. It's 1345, which is also called Nisa. So this is the brown and white. And 1346, which is this blue, gray, red one
combo
called Maliga. They're the first 3 colors on the Regia Perfect listing on our website. So these retail for $17.50. So you get 20% off.
Who doesn't love a striped sock? I love
Right?
these. I can't quite understand why they've been, but they've
think
been hanging out here, and I
we've
think
had
they
them
need
for
some
a
love.
really long time.
Yeah. I think we were talking about knitting a sample because I think people need to see how cool
Yeah,
it is.
I think it's the white yarn on the outside.
I think so
That's
too.
really what I think is going on here. And so
I wanted to turn them inside out, but that seemed a little...
Right. If you're not familiar with how the Perfect works, there's this gold at the beginning, and halfway through there's another gold. And so when you finish one sock, you would pull till you get to the other gold, so you can start it and you have matching socks.
Or you could use yellow if you like yellow. It's the same yarn, it just has yellow dye on it.
Right. So it basically allows you...
That would brighten these right up. To
Right.
have some yellow stripes mixed in.
It allows you to make a matched pair.
Exactly matched.
And instead of it coming in 250-gram skeins, it comes in 100-gram cake.
Mm-hmm.
So these are, it's 100 grams. It's about 459 yards. It is a, what's the...
75-25, I want to say.
I think you're right. I was just looking for it to confirm.
My glasses are in a
But I
different
am not
bag.
seeing that. But I believe it is 75-25.
There are other yarn that I was knitting my sweater. There it is. Yep, 75-25.
There it is. Yep.
It's in German, but I can see
Yes.
75 and 25, so I'm going to assume that's what that means.
Yep.
You can translate for yourself.
It's machine washable. It's dryer proof. Like, it's meant for socks. This is your classic sock yarn right here.
Yeah.
So 20% off for the next 2 weeks. These 3 colorways only. With the coupon code
YP.
YP. Is that right?
Yarn cast pick.
YCP. We don't even know what our codes are anymore.
That's what happens when you change the name.
We'll do
after
YP. Yarn cast pick. So YP.
Regia, only because it's easier to spell.
Yes.
Regia.
Okay. Yep.
And
YP Regia. I'll put it down at the bottom too because we've just been like all over the place with this.
yeah.
20% off.
And a little plug for our newsletter.
Mm-hmm.
There was a little something in there for those that are subscribed. So if you're not subscribed, there are 2 very different opportunities for discounts. One here on the Yarncast and one in our newsletter. Our newsletter is only monthly, so those last for 4 weeks generally instead of just 2. But anyway, just saying.
Yep.
There's a sign up page right on the front of our website.
Yes. I can drop a link. I think I was in here one before, but in the other things we mentioned section, I will throw a link to where you can sign up for the newsletter.
And I will just mention, while we're talking about that, excuse me, if you sign up quick, we're going to do a little survey and ask people lots of little questions about what we do here and what we sell here, just to make sure that we're meeting everybody's needs. We've never done one before. We thought, why not now?
Why not?
So,
Why not?
as usual, it might be a little humorous because we don't like things that are boring.
No.
And so that will be going out probably, I was going to do it this week, but since I'm talking about it right now, perhaps I'll wait until Saturday to send it out.
There you go.
So if you're listening to this right away on Friday when it pops up, then
And you're not on our newsletter list.
sign up fast.
Yes.
Yeah.
But you can still sign up. And if you
And
missed
anytime,
it,
right.
you think, you could definitely send us a message and say, hey, can I have a link to the survey? And, we'd be happy to.
We can pretend that we know how to do that. Ange will help us figure out how to do it.
We can do it. We can do it. We have the technology.
I'm pretty sure
do
I
it.
can.
Yep.
Yes.
Anyway, so I was going to ask you what you were wearing, but
I had an interview today for a project,
Yeah.
and so I have 0 knitwear on today. Usually I'm pretty good, but not today.
It happens.
Yeah.
Last time we podcast, I only had one on because I had my finished object on that had no ends.
Oh, right. Right.
Was wearing with string hanging everywhere.
Right.
So
Right.
I'm wearing my rocket tee. This is a Tanis Lavallee pattern. fingering weight yarn. Her pattern calls for alternating fingering weight and mohair. And I chose to leave the mohair off. The yarn that I used is a merino silk blend. So it's got the nice like drape to it. Yeah. I get a lot of wear out of it. I like it a lot. I might make another one just because it's such a great little tee. Yeah. Pretty quick. It used 2 skeins of yarn. Yeah. One of each color, and not even the whole thing of each color. Yeah. And I think I made mine longer. Like it just, just yarn for days. Yeah, and it fits really well. Fits nice. It's got a nice, I love the I-cord bind off around the neck. The B's not too deep. Like it's just, it's a nice little sweater. Yeah. So that's what I'm wearing. I actually went home in between because my interview was in Middlebury, which for those that don't know is, I don't know, half an hour, 45 minutes, I guess, from here. My office is in a completely different direction, so it's been one of those weird days of like driving all over the place. But I had another call after the interview, but before, anyway, so I went home and I hadn't had lunch, so I had lunch at 3:00 and and did my call and then raced over here, but it's so I thought to myself, oh, you should put on something knitted, but the call went a few minutes long and I didn't want to be late. So I didn't think of it. That's fine. It's all right. Well, our lady mannequin here is wearing a 98% sweater. Is wearing a cardigan backwards. Because there's more to see here than there is on the front. So this is we can turn her, right? We can turn her around. She's the one who moves fairly easily. So the sweater, this is for my child. It is a little on the big side because the thing about kids is they grow. So you want to make it a little on the big side. YouTube did not allow us to podcast. It needs the button band for the fronts, but otherwise it's done. It's long. I know your kid is tall, but man. It is long. I did post a picture on Instagram and also on my project page of her wearing it. Oh, you did? From the back. It didn't have sleeves on it yet. It was before I put the sleeves on. And it does. I mean, it covers her bum and then some. But in a year, she'll be like, probably be cropped in a year. She could probably wear it for a couple of years. That's hope, right? Finally. The hope, yeah. Right. So I put it on backwards so you could see sort of. It's fun. Look at all those colors. It's fun. I have enough Does she yarn. Like it? I think so. Yeah. I have enough yarn to make a second sweater. That has pink in it? In the pink, the yellow, orange, pink, other shade of purple spectrum. So these were these giant Lion Brand mandala skeins. Purchased elsewhere. Like it was like 1,200 yards of. Yeah. And it has a pretty good feel. It's acrylic, right? Yeah. It has a pretty nice feel to it for acrylic. This is the cotton. And I shouldn't say that because that sounds, I don't know what. But, it's been fine to work with. It's a nice little yarn. It's going to be machine washable. Yeah. It's a little pink up here at the top. I like pink, sorry. Yeah. Little teeny tiny purple right at the top. You're right. Yeah, this was the whole thing where this is the giant skein, and then I realized if I wanted the sleeves to match, I bought 2 smaller. Oh, right, I forgot about that. And so did you? Yeah, I did get them to match. You did pretty good. Yeah. And these are using the smaller ones? Yep, the sleeves. Did you have to fiddle with it, or do you have ends to weave in, or could you just go straight? I just went straight. You know what I mean? You didn't have to manipulate. Yeah, the guessing part. These 2 aren't quite the same size. On the stripes, but it's close enough. Yeah. Mostly because I started the green. I pulled out a chunk of green to start, but then didn't keep track. So when I went to the second one, I was like, oh, I'm just guessing that I'm pulling the same amount of green out before I start. So anyway, it's fine. It's close enough. Interesting though. It's always fun to try and figure that stuff out. Yeah. I didn't have to fiddle with it too There were no much. Yellow threads that said, please stop here. No, there was not. Wave my hands in the air. That seems to be the magic. It's bizarre to me that it's taken us a year and a half to figure that out. I know, right? I just have to put my hands in the air. Right. So this pattern pattern is called, I'm calling it Arctic Rainbow, but that is not actually what the pattern is called. That's what I have named it. So let me get you the pattern name. It's a very cute kids cardigan. It's supposed to be striped. I just am foregoing
the fussiness,
the extra striping. It's called Arctic Coast is the name of the cardigan.
I started to say, no, it's called Arctic Rainbow because she's on her project page, and that's what it says at the top.
Yeah. Arctic Coast.
It's always been funny to me that Ravelry does that. And for the longest time, I would put like some quirky thing in there, and then I realized that I would never be able to find it again if I did that. And so I started using the pattern name. And
I rename mine something funny things sometimes.
Yeah. Anyway.
Like, I think I have one project that's called Don't Drink and Knit, like, because
there were issues.
Yeah. I might have rechanged that one, but I did have that at one point. So
excuse me.
So I'm almost done. Those button bands won't take very long on the front.
Yeah.
It might take longer if I decide to actually put buttons on. I will need to
consult with your client.
with my small client to find out if she's not actually that small. With my client to find out if she wants buttons. Because if she doesn't want buttons, then I will do buttonless button bands on the front.
Could do snaps.
I think snaps would have more wear and tear and like yanking. But buttons could be fun, but that's going to require ribbon. So we all know what happens when I need to do ribbon.
Oh my God, stop now.
Right. And then
because the ribbon stash, which far exceeds the yarn stash, is never sufficient for what is needed.
I never have.
I'm sure you don't have any rainbow ribbon in there that could be used for this.
I'm sure I don't. I'm sure I do have a lot.
That was what I was trying to say.
Yeah, it might just end up being close enough.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah.
So we'll see.
Yeah.
I need to consult, find out if we're doing buttons or not. If we're doing buttons, it may be an ongoing, longer project because then I will also have to sew said buttons on. Also a project.
Yeah.
But maybe she'll say no, she doesn't want buttons, and then I'll be like, great, I'll just knit button bands. Straight.
2 toggles just to hold it together if she wants, and then you're done.
Maybe.
Right.
Yeah. We'll just do that.
Yeah.
So we'll see. It might have a finished object soon, or it might be months.
School starts.
It's going to be like 90 degrees.
I was just going to say.
September, and
is it starting this week? Are your kids back this week?
No,
next week. I've lost track of what day. Oh, yeah, I guess it's still only
end of August.
I know, but excuse me, it's the 21st. I thought maybe they were back on the 25th.
Nope, last year they went back on the 25th.
And maybe that's why I think that.
They're back later. I cannot figure out the school calendar. It baffles me completely.
It's because it's mean. It makes no sense.
Well, and in fact, our district school that has not had school on the Friday that I have gone to Rybeck the entire time William has been in the school district. So going on 8 years at this point, has always had no school that Friday that we go to Rybeck.
Columbus Day week?
It's a Friday. It's always been a
Friday.
But
they usually tack on those in-service days or whatever.
They don't. Not this year.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the 9th or something. It's like a Monday.
Mm-hmm.
I was looking at the school calendar.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, wait. Oh. So I don't have to feel guilty this year that my husband's home with the kids on that Friday.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
That makes life simpler.
They'll be at school.
Mm-hmm.
Wah, wah. I do have a finished object, though.
All right. Go for it.
I finished the hat.
Mm-hmm.
The double-sided inside-out hat.
It's so pink.
I know. This side is very pink.
Mm-hmm. So cute.
This side is slightly less pink, more purple and pink. Very cute.
Mm-hmm.
My child has mostly mastered how to put the two ends back together if she pulls them apart.
Yes.
But not quite, so I could see this could cause some challenges.
Does she like it?
In the future. She does like it.
That's good.
It's definitely the wrong weather because she hasn't asked me where it is, and I was able to get it out of the house.
Yeah.
But yes, she likes it for now.
Mm-hmm.
Also informed me that it was not itchy. But we'll see. That can change in a heartbeat.
It's as good as it gets.
Right? So It's a Musselburgh style hat. The pattern that I used is called Full Spectrum by Andrea Rangel. And it's a similar style where you start at the top and you knit down. The pattern, she has some color work that you can incorporate. You can incorporate some ribbing on one of the halves to help pull it in a little bit. I did not do that with this one, mostly because it was 100% winging it for sizing, because it was smaller circumference and shorter. So
and that's the Fiber Stash sock
this is
blank.
a Fiber Stash sock blank. It was one that I think has been here for years at this point.
I almost feel like it moved from
The
place
old
one to
store
place two.
to the new store, and
Yeah. It's so
you
pretty.
could not see its beauty in the sock blank. My child apparently could see its beauty. I think it was the pink in the sock blank, and picked it up when we were here last and was like, I want to get this. And I was like, oh, I guess I can make you a hat. So here we are with this very gorgeous double-sided hat, which she may or may not wear this winter. So I don't know. We'll see. But it knit up. It's really pretty.
It's good mindless knitting while you were away.
Totally not mindless knitting.
Yeah.
Now I need to find another sock pattern. I had brought a couple with me and then realized that they had like more complicated.
And you were on vacation, so there's
And I
none
was
of that.
on vacation. I maybe didn't have some of the right stuff with me, even though I triple checked the needles.
It can't be as bad as me, because if you remember correctly,
you win. you
I
win.
think with the possible exception of my vacation to Maine, where I was so completely, I quadruple checked my bag, because for the previous 3 trips I've forgotten a needle.
Yeah.
It's just ridiculous. Although on the other hand, we sell a lot of needles to people who are on vacation who have done exactly the same thing. So it is what it is.
Mine was more about like one of the patterns was like, do a tubular cast on. And I was like, oh, for God's sake, I'm not. No. Or it was like a provisional cast on. And I was just like, no.
Right.
I mean, I could have just skipped it, and you can do a regular like ribbed brim, and that's probably what I should have done, but whatever. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's fine. It's all fine. But yeah, no, finished that. Been working on that.
Finished all the things you posted yesterday.
I took some time to finally weave in the ends on a handful of projects and take some pictures of some other ones that just been kind of hanging out as whips on my project page that have been done for a while.
Yeah. Ravelry can get away from you.
It did
just ignore it
kind
for
of
a
get
little
away
while.
from me.
Yeah.
And then I also was doing some crocheting yesterday. Yeah, you were eyeballing it, right? Do you guys remember the crochet granny fanny bag? Look, we have a actual bag.
Yeah.
And squares crocheted together.
It looks great.
It's a little humpy. I don't really know.
Have you blocked it yet? You know, that's my solution for everything.
Have not blocked it.
Just kidding.
I've not blocked it. You can see it. Look at it.
It's very cute.
It's got a little way. There's a
zipper
that's supposed to go in here.
That'll be fun to sew in.
Well, the pattern has you hand sewing it, and I call nonsense on that. And I'm probably gonna try to sew it in with my sewing machine, because that's way faster.
Indeed, yes.
There's also a strap that needs to get made so you can wear it like crossbody.
Oh.
Yeah.
I thought it was like a true fanny pack.
Well, you'd have to do
Need a
like an
belt.
adjustable one. And really the easiest way to do that is probably with Velcro, but Velcro knits don't really go along that well.
No, they do not.
So I think it'll just have to get worn over the shoulder. And if there's complaints, we can adjust the strap, because remember, this is kind of a gag. There's a lot of effort for like what is essentially a gag gift.
It sure is.
But that's how I roll.
But you've proven that it can be done.
That I can do it.
Mm-hmm.
And I can crocheted the squares together, did it all.
Mm-hmm.
If nothing else,
It's a little bonnet.
have a hat.
Yeah. Yeah. Let me know if you're thinking you might wear that at Rybeck over that weekend.
That would be amazing.
Because if that's the case, I'm going to
make
stand on
one?
the other side of the, of the street.
Wait, you don't...
I don't want to say anything mean. I'm just kidding, obviously.
Yeah. But it could also
If you
be
wear
that.
it as a bag of some sort, that's one thing. If you put it on your head, I refuse. Sorry. Just saying. I like to be clear.
Lines have been drawn.
That's
Here's the line right here.
Right. Yep, that's it.
Good to know.
I don't want you to be the one who's everyone's trying to take a picture of.
Duly noted.
Right.
Jen, there's no such thing as bad press.
Well, right.
Oh,
as long as you don't put any muscle of yarn buttons on there, I think we'll be fine. No pins for you.
I'm going to wear my t-shirt and put that on.
Right.
Because
Right. Yeah. That would be something.
that would be something.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Moving along. It's going to be a bag.
Okay.
It would be a cute bag, right?
I think it would be cute,
cross-
actually.
I might make a second one. I have plenty of yarn to make another one.
Mm-hmm. It is cute.
Yeah. It's kind of cute.
Yeah.
I'll make one for you. We can wear them. We can match you at my Jen's like,
Well, you can decide.
because look, because I can't do anything like partial. When I bought the zippers, there's like 12 of them or something. Because the ones I wanted with the fun little pull tabs.
Oh, yeah.
And that are colorful.
Multicolored. Those are cool.
Yeah.
Are they long enough?
I don't know. Let's check. I'm thinking they might not be. Looking. Nope.
I'm going to say as an architect that they're a little short.
That would be a nope. That's a good...
You could seam this, I guess, and
I guess.
so it worked.
Though I'm pretty sure I followed the directions and ordered the zipper size that was suggested that I would need for this project. So either something is off here a lot. I don't know.
No, I can't go this way.
Do I
thought maybe
have
the
that?
geometry would work. Look, this is kind of a cute little pouch bag.
Oh, yeah.
Huh.
That is kind of cute. Let's see. Does it say? Maybe I can't read. That's also totally... Oh, yeah. Zipper, 12 inches long.
Well,
Huh.
that appears to be 12 inches. I would
That's
say that's pretty close. I think you could just...
You know what? It says that it's 14 inches wide.
Right, so you can just do a little something on the ends, and then the zipper, it's got a little...
Yeah, 14 inches wide by 6 inches
zipper
deep.
just goes in the
So,
middle. And then you just sew up the ends. And that's where you attach the strap.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes, I think that's what is supposed to happen
Close
here.
enough, right? I mean, really.
Yeah. Sew strap to bag along the top edge.
Mm-hmm.
Use sewing thread and needle, sew in zipper along top edge of opening.
Yeah.
So, yes, I think it looks like
Yeah.
it wraps around and then
There you go.
closes up and then... So, okay. So that's right. I did read it correctly. And
you bought the right size.
I did buy the right size. And this is approximately 14 inch, right? It looks like it's a couple inches short.
Right on gauge.
What? Because I check.
Right. Yes.
I don't check for knitting
Quite
projects.
sure. Right.
Pretty sure I'm not checking for... But aren't these zippers fun?
They are super fun, actually.
That's why I got them. Look at that pink one with like the blue,
Yeah.
purple, and blue. Anyway,
They are fun.
yes. But I have
You can make like 25 of these.
I have the 12 of them, I think.
12.
Maybe? That looks right. Yes. So I can make more of my bag hats.
You could use the zippers as like a strap.
I could use the straps as a strap. And you could open up the zipper and it still will fit on your head, Jen. Just saying.
Thank God for that.
Oh, yeah.
Whew, I feel so much better now.
I was so worried that I wasn't going to be able to
goodness.
wear it as a hat.
Oh my gosh.
Very concerned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. All right. So enough about my crocheted bag hat.
Do you have any other whips that you'd like to, or any other
I
FO
don't.
things?
No. I mean, I have this I was weaving in ends. This
Mm-hmm.
is like from a really long time ago. It's this honeycomb
Yeah.
cowl. And it was in the bag because I was throwing things in this bag as I
Right.
was finishing ends. So
Yeah.
anyway, that's all.
Well, let's see.
But you've got some stuff that
do.
is very normal and not
slightly more
ridiculous.
serious part of the show.
Not ridiculous.
So as promised, when we did show notes, I edited them and I made this a whip, even though it wasn't an actual whip, because I'm a liar.
Close enough.
But it was, in fact, a whip before the podcast went live. So I think that makes me almost not a liar. But
Kind of counts.
right. So I started this sweater. I'm going to call it Chickadee because that's a lot easier for me to remember somehow than Chickadee, because I don't know why that just does not look like the right pronunciation. But Alicia Plummer, we talked about it last time. I am using held double. You can see what fun we've been having with the yarn. This yarn ball was not these were not happy yarn cakes, let's just say. I spent 2 whole nights converting the other yarn cake into a ball because there was so much yarn barf in the middle of it. It was impossible. This one looks worse than it really is. It's actually fine. But anyway, we need that new part for our winder here is all I have to say. Yeah. It looks lovely until you start knitting with it. And then when you're knitting 2 at a time, you need them both to work. But I'm holding 2 at a time. And I, since we last podcast, or even a week after we last podcast, I did the left front of my sweater.
Awesome.
So that is made. It's knit in pieces and then assembled. The pattern is really pretty, actually.
It is really gorgeous.
You can sort of see it's more than just yarn overs. It looks very crochet-like, even though it's not. It's a tiny bit tricky.
With
so
2 strands held together.
no, that part is actually fine, but I got to about here and I took the whole thing out and started over again because I actually lost track of where I was, and then I came up with a better system for managing that, which involved highlighter tape and a row counter.
Oh, yeah.
You would think to yourself, it's an 8-row repeat. How hard can this be? But
sometimes those small row repeats are like the worst.
And it's you're doing yarn overs and then you're dropping them and then you're knitting them together on the next one. So there's like 3 rows of interaction. And if you get off, I'm sure some truly expert person could figure it out. But I've been knitting for a while. Expert might be the wrong word, but I've been knitting enough that anyway. So luckily it doesn't take very long. So I started again. And so I did all of that. And then I started this like 2 nights ago and I'm halfway through the back. This is the back.
Yeah.
It actually suggested that you start with the left front as a gauge swatch. So I knit the left front, and I have not actually measured it yet to see if I'm getting gauged, but I figure this is meant to be kind of a loose sweater, and so it's going really fast.
That is fast.
And I'm kind of liking this color, actually. I had said last time that I wanted it to be a little bit more beigey, and I might tea dye it when I'm done, but I'm not sure if I not. I'm not sure I will. It's a pretty good neutral to work. So, so it's been fun. I've been pretty much working on that exclusively, except for I did actually more. I think this, I don't remember where this was. So this is the, sorry, stuff everywhere. This is my Golden Gate. Is that what it is? That's what I always want to say, and I feel like it's Garden Gate. I did the Gold Wing, in fairness, of hers, so I'm pretty sure that's what that one is called. I don't know, but this is this one, which will be a short sleeve top. Oh, and I should have said Huasco Kettle Cotton. I think that's what that is.
Yep.
that's the yarn I'm using in the undyed natural color.
Nice.
So that's fingering weight held double. And then this Garden Gate, I feel like I had just barely cast this on, maybe. I can't quite remember maybe I was a little further. Maybe I just gotten to the top of the color work, but I didn't do much, but I did some, and the color work is starting to show.
I love the color work.
Yeah, it's a little subtle because there's some light patches in here. So once there's more of it, it'll be more obvious, and it's good for it to be. I mean, there's obviously enough contrast there that it will show up. So when there's more of the pattern done, the pattern will be more obvious, I guess.
Yep.
I don't know. So this is a one of a kind. Well, maybe not one of a kind storyteller by Fuse
Fiber.
Fiber. Her
She's
stock.
not dying. Stock yarn anymore.
It is not. It's very sad. Fuse sock. And the gray is Knitting for Olive Cotton Merino in the gray lamb. I think I said it was gray lame last time, but the price tag was over it, and that's.
Is that the stuff you bought down in DC?
DC. Yeah. And I was buying the needle that I forgot. For the project that I was working on at that time, which I think was the flux.
So, speaking of needles in this needle situation...
I dropped them all over the floor, so clearly I have enough now.
Can I just point out that when we went to Vogue Knitting Live, I don't know if you remember, but I bought this from, it's Crippen.
Yes.
They do the needle holders. They come to Rybeck. I've got a couple of their different needle holders. So, they've done this. This is a travel one, right? So I loaded it up with the stuff that I was going to need. And do you think that I got the stuff that I needed? No. But
yeah, it's tricky. These sweaters, you've got like one for the neck and then a different size for the whatever. And the, Yeah. So I am pretty excited about this. And I think I'm on the last row of increases on the, And then it's just pattern until it separates, which seems a little...
Awesome.
It seems a little small.
So there's more stitches scrunched on there than you think.
I sure hope so.
Yeah.
So that's it. These are my two focuses.
Awesome.
Focus. I don't know what.
So I've been trying to figure out what's next. And I have, this Woolens and Nosh yarn that I've bought to make some sweaters. But then as I was sort of poking through thinking about Rybeck and stuff, I was like, didn't you buy a bunch of yarn for sweaters at Rybeck last year?
Yes, you did. Yes, we did.
Sweater quantities worth.
Yes, we did.
One I have made, right? That's the purple Woolens and Nosh.
You have made more than I have with the
made one
Rybeck stuff.
But I had bought two other full sweater quantities at actual Rybeck.
From CC.
One from CC and one from Dragonfly Fibers. So it was... this is how I shop at Rybeck. I look at people's Instagrams and I'm like, oh, that's pretty.
Yeah.
So Dragonfly Fibers had a sample of Avena.
Another Sangas, right? Jennifer Sangas?
Another Jennifer Sangas, short-sleeved, and they used one of their mini skeins for the
leaves.
The leaves, whatever. The wheat almost looks like wheatgrass.
Yeah.
Right? The yolk part, and it was gorgeous. And I was like, we gotta go to Dragonfly Fibers because I want to get that yarn.
That's right. You always have right.
And I did get the yarn. I did get the sweater.
And also it gets warmer at Rybeck, so I feel like one of these sweaters that I'm knitting might be.
Feel like I want to do a short sleeve of this one too. Mm-hmm. So this sweater is actually for worsted weight or DK, light DK or DK weight. I'm pretty sure the yarn I bought was DK. The yoke, I think, yarn is fingering.
So are they Will they be multiple colors? I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, it was
this
a
yarn at
whole
all.
like gradient.
A gradient, okay.
It's not a gradient, but it's a gradient pack, like
Mhm.
rainbow pack
Yeah.
of mini skeins
Mhm.
that they used for the color work part. And then I just got like a gray, it might even be like a merino silk DK or sport weight blend or
Something lovely, yes.
really nice. So I think I'm going to do that
Yeah.
next.
Mm-hmm.
And then, that's chocolate, by the way. I was having a mess today. Sorry, it's like brown stuff on the back of my paper. It just looks
I don't
gross.
judge.
Yeah.
I don't judge at all.
Chocolate.
Who doesn't
Because I
have
can't
that?
eat without dropping stuff on myself or on things in front of me. Anyway, so if I do that and if I do short sleeve, then
Mm-hmm.
it would be good for Rybeck. I could wear something over the top if it was cold.
Yeah.
But then I will have knit 2 out of the 3 sweater quantities that I bought last year.
Yes.
Not to say that's leaving any kind of dent in my stash, but at least then
and
I
not
feel
to
like
point a finger at her friend here who was purposely there to buy yarn and started the sweater while she was there and ran into some sort of little snafu. I forget exactly what. I feel like I'm going to take that out and start over. I was thinking about it the other day, though. My remember the dark pink?
Yeah, because you were on a mission to find that yarn.
Which I did find.
Yeah.
And I started it before we left.
Yeah.
And then I don't know what happened. Something.
I also have the yarn to make that Desperate Housewives cardigan,
Yes.
which is this yarn
That's
we got
the yarn
from
we both
Cece's
bought, right.
wool. We
Different
bought
colors.
kits from Cece. I have that one too.
I was thinking about that the other day also.
That might be a good take to Rybeck with me.
Yes, because it's
project.
all stockinette. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go dig that yarn out. I think I know where it is.
Oh, I was hoping you had it with you because I couldn't remember the colors.
No,
Yeah.
I didn't have a chance to. I printed the pattern out today at work, which I had already bought the pattern. It was one of those where
You were ready.
I had
the pattern.
Last year when
What
I
is it
got back
called?
from Rybeck, I put the I put the patterns in my queue, and then wrote the note like, "You bought yarn at Dragonfly Fibers for this pattern."
So I will tell you this for nothing.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, 2 years ago, somewhere during COVID, I went through my whole craft room and sort of cleaned it's also the storage room in my house because I don't have a basement or an attic. And I cleaned everything out and organized it. And it's such a mess. It's just unbelievable. And right there, taking up a lot of space, is the box that I brought back from Rybeck, because when we were putting all of our stuff together, we had an extra box lying around our rental Airbnb, and I was like, I'm going to use this box because it's so much easier to cart stuff around in, and I bought a few things more than I thought, and so that box is sitting on the table, and there's all kinds of stuff in there. I'm not even sure what's in there. I mean, I'm kind of sure, but there's definitely the sweater quantity from American U, which is the yarn we bought at Cece's.
Yeah.
And anyway, yeah. And in the meantime, for some reason, a long time. This is sort of a segue too. So I do you remember that shawl, True Colors? It was a multicolored shawl, and it was pretty popular 5 or 6 years ago.
I feel like it's one of those ones. If I saw it,
I'm
I'd be
gonna
like,
look it up while we're talking.
Yeah.
And so I started it, and
Okay.
I was having some problems with it, and I sort of gave up on it. And I sorry, I gotta sign in.
New phone.
No, I just was not signed into Ravelry. Sometimes I do that ahead of time like a thoughtful person, but not today. Anyway, it's been sitting in a bag in the coffee table section of the whips. And for some reason, I don't know, I just started thinking about it the other day. So I kind of feeling like I want to drag that out and finish it. But hopefully it's in my whips right here at the top. True Colors, there it is. By Melanie Berg pattern.
Oh, yeah.
You'll recognize it as soon as you see it.
Yep.
I'm sure everyone's seen it. It was a big shawl, and it had like
It
the
almost
idea was to
looks
have a whole gray.
crocheted kind of.
It's lace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's that zigzag pattern.
Yeah.
But yeah, a whole
Yeah.
gradient.
Yeah.
Yep.
Um,
Was it meant to be for like
Advent, maybe.
Advent?
It could have been, because
Yeah.
there's a lot of colors in it. And I had several gradient packs that I put together, and I did my own set of combination colors. The colors shift from being the dark colors at one end with white or whatever the contrast is,
Yep.
and at the other end, it's the contrast is the body, and
Yep.
the darker colors. You can sort of see the shift in colors from
Yep.
one side to the other. So anyway, so that I might bring back up. And then I had a random thought yesterday as I was wandering around the store. I thought, I've knit for my family members at various points along the way. I've knit some small things for my sister, but I haven't ever knit her a sweater. And of all the people in my family, she would probably be the most appreciative.
Yeah.
So I started thinking I might make her a special sweater at Christmas time for Christmas. And so we have this cashmere blend. It's just so soft
So
and
nice.
beautiful, and it would make a perfect classic sweater. So I'm kind of thinking I might. It's so soft.
Yeah.
It's really lovely. It's a wool cashmere blend, if I remember correctly.
I think
65% merino, 30% cashmere, 5% nylon as a binder because it's a chainette. Plus
it's
the
kind of a
cashmere.
bulky
Yeah,
yarn.
and the merino will hold the cashmere together. So it has. I had a brief moment of like maybe I would make, because Silver Street alpacas, we have the most gorgeous colors.
Yeah.
It's a local yarn to us, and I was thinking about that held with something else to hold it together, but I had a bad experience knitting an alpaca-based sweater. Where now a dress for somebody.
Yeah,
So,
alpaca's challenging.
yes, but I did think, just a simple classic sweater.
That would be nice.
We have quite a few colors. This is really lovely yarn. Yeah.
There's a number of like bulky weight sweaters
Yeah.
that are really nice that have just come out recently.
Yeah, classic shade.
Mm-hmm.
So these are 50-gram balls, and I think, I want to say, maybe they're 25. No, they're 25 grams. That's 70 yards and 20 grams, 76, because they're so fluffy. About $12 a ball. I mean, really.
Yeah, for
it's
cashmere.
pretty cheap.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I thought this is percolating in my brain.
Nice.
Because God knows, if I'm going to knit someone else's sweater, I got to get on it.
Right.
Even
Exactly.
though I have my own pile of things to knit, clearly.
Yeah.
And if you look at your whips in Ravelry, really, you're like, oh, right. Oh, yeah. Remember that? Oh, yeah.
I have a couple in there that I'm like, I should really just like frog this because
I've done several of those froggy things.
actually finish this thing at this point. It's been hanging out there for.
Plus, if the yarn is
7
really
years.
beautiful, and you just really aren't feeling the pattern anymore, then find a better use for the yarn.
I one of them that I have that's been languishing for years at this point is Lily Pilly, and it was a shawl, 3-color shawl.
I don't remember that one.
It's like got stripes and it's got lace and it's really pretty. And the yarn I'm using, I suppose I could repurpose it for something else, but it felt really perfect for that shawl. But
Lily Pilly.
I think I started that not long after William was born. He
Is it
just
2 L's?
turned 12. Yeah, I think so. L-I.
2 separate words.
Yeah, I think so. Who knows at this point? Or not. I don't know what I was thinking. Yeah.
Lily Pilly. Oh, and Amber O'Brien.
Amber O'Brien.
Oh, yeah, I remember that now. You guys may remember that too.
So it's
really
stripes
pretty.
at one end and then a big lace panel in the middle. And
it had those stripes. Yeah, I love those stripes.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, that would look how pretty it is when it's all done.
Gorgeous.
Yeah. That's why there's a couple things. And I knit faster than I used to. And so some of these things, which at the time were like gargantuan projects, not that True Colors is not gargantuan because it kind of is, but
yeah, I mean that's a
so
style
pretty.
that I would
so
wear.
I'm looking at all the pictures.
Yeah, she's looking at all the pictures of
It's
like
got that pretty lace and then the stripes. Yeah, it's beautiful. I remember that. I do remember that now.
Yeah.
What is yours? Is it in these colors? No.
No, it was in
Orange?
like a white and gray And then I had like a blue variegated yarn that had a little bit of gray in it. It was really nice colors. I feel like the gray was left over from the hydrangea shawl.
Oh,
that leftover yarn.
That was
which
Fiber
is,
Company.
Fiber Company. It was like a blend of a bunch of different.
Mine was called Meadowlark. I don't remember what I did with that yarn. I never finished that shawl.
So anyway,
So we think it's going to be a mixture of new projects and old projects all for both of us going forward.
Yeah.
Huh, funny thing. It's just life. It's the knitting life.
The question is, though, am I going to be able to pick up from the pattern where I left off? Because I can't even tell you, it's been...
That's why I think on that shawl I could pick up, because I could rip out back to...
It could have been a decade since I started this project.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that one really for me, anyway, I put it away. But
right?
yeah.
I think I don't think I was that far along. I should probably just rip it out if I can't figure out where I am.
Especially if you're in the stripe section, you'll know where you are.
Again.
If you're in the stripe section, you'll know where you are.
Maybe because there's increases that are also...
Yeah,
so anyway,
close enough.
I'll have to take a look. See.
It's funny, like you go back through there, and there's a reason you started making these projects, because they're beautiful.
Yeah.
And the yarn you picked is beautiful. But there are definitely a few where I'm like, I don't really know.
I think I got distracted, but I think I was also in a place where that was a very challenging project for me at the time. I had a lot going on. I'm pretty sure I had a newborn at home. Like, it was just like first child also. So it was...
Well, if it was for William, it was 10 or 11 years ago.
Yeah, actually, let's look. Because it's in my project, so I can tell you when I started it.
Yeah.
Because now I'm curious.
I know, sorry.
Sorry, we just have derailed this completely.
Yes, but we're almost there. But now we both want to know.
I started this in 2015. So that's 8 years ago.
And I started True Colors in 2018. September.
Yeah. 2015. So, in fact, one of the yarns that I'm using is One Twisted Tree.
Oh, yeah. 2015 is when we opened the store. And we had One Twisted Tree.
Yep, July of 2015. So it was that summer.
Before we opened the store.
Before we opened the store.
Yeah. So there's not a little bit, just a few things going on. We were planning the launch of our yarn store because, we did the whole thing in 6 months. So clearly in July, we opened in November.
Yep.
In July, we were having these conversations.
Yeah.
And you were having a baby. And
Yeah. So, yeah.
Wow.
It's time to pick it up again, I think.
It was a throwback clock there.
That was super throwback.
Yeah. All right. Well, you have a few more things to show you.
Okay. Yep, we do. And then we won't keep you too much longer because we have been chit-chatting the heck out of this thing.
Yeah.
So
I really thought, I looked at the table before we started, and I was like, I got nothing to talk about. This is going to be very short. We have a new indie dyer in the house. And so we're just giving a little shout out to our friend from Into the Woods. We have a bunch of different bases. So this is like a merino nylon 80-20 sock fingering weight.
This is a worsted weight base, which is a superwash merino.
This is similar, but the colors are just so pretty.
We have, this is a Surrey baby alpaca mulberry silk blend. This must be like 25 yards. This is 76 yards. That can't be right.
25. No, something's wrong there.
Maybe 160 yards for 25 grams.
Yeah.
That can't be right at all.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And then there's a boucle.
Yeah.
And then we have some minis. These are on a tweed base. Aren't they cute?
That's a really DK. Pretty.
Yeah. So there's a bunch of stuff hanging on the wall in here. If you're local, it's not on our website. I'm sorry to show it to you, even though I know some of you aren't here. But just give her some love. And if you're local, come in and take a look.
Come take a look.
Yeah. Fun stuff.
Really pretty.
We have a new shipment. I didn't even bring all the colors over.
So many colors. Yeah. Remember our little bitty sweater?
Our little guy.
Hi.
Yes, I would pick it up and show you more. But
we've already had
a mishap.
Yes, that is not attached.
I would think that it should be attached, and I explained to Ange in great detail and quite colorful language how much I think it should be attached. However, it's not. But you can see the color and how it stripes, which is nice.
This one.
Yeah.
But yes, we have some new
Yeah, we
ones.
have a lot of them. I love some of these rainbowy ones.
It's like the third time.
I know. There's like bright rainbow and pastel rainbow. These are two different ones, and then just kind of fun. So if you're thinking about a little chunky color work project for the fall, we have you covered.
And
There's
this is
quite
Hayfield Spirit Chunky. So it's a bulky weight yarn. It's an acrylic wool blend.
Yeah. 100 grams, 169 yards.
Yep.
Yeah. Fun.
Super fun.
Yeah. And that could
I
be.
think that's good. So I had an idea for a new cowl, which I am calling the Colors of Fall cowl for no other reason than because it sounds fun. But so I think I'm going to do it as a color work along. So,
True colors coming to you.
Can
I have a whip?
So color work along, so you could do a sweater if you wanted to join, Jen and I are both doing Jennifer Steingass patterns. You could do a color work hat, you could do mittens, you could do a color work shawl, you could do color work socks. There's a cool new sock pattern Stephen West released not that long ago that I'm eyeballing because I'm like, oh, that would be fun. I would count it, I know it's not technically color work, it's more like slip stitch mosaic knitting. I will count mosaic knitting for this.
If it uses more than one color of yarn.
Yes.
It's in, right?
I think let's start it September 1st. Let's just give everybody a little time to gather your stuff together. We'll end it maybe at the end of October. Maybe we can push it out to end of November. I don't know.
No whips?
Fluid.
Oh my goodness.
I think we're going to do no whips. Start something new. Find a new project. Dig into your stash, buy some new yarn. No whips.
Yeah.
But I don't police anything. So
who's gonna know?
But
if I whip out a half-finished shawl on September 1st, I think
you
maybe
can't
people
win prizes anyway.
People should be a little suspicious. But I'll just use that as a motivator for people.
That will be your knitting handicap right there. Jen gets to start a whip to see if she can get it done.
There's no way I would get it done. I need a whip. Yeah. I need the handicap.
Colors of Fall cowl.
Yeah.
Knit or crochet. Doesn't matter. You can do color work and crochet, I think. Can't you?
I'm pretty sure.
Somebody will correct me.
There are definitely people, because some people came in for our crochet sweater along or whatever it's called.
You could do this. That I would count as color work. Not really.
But we would highly recommend that it be used as a bag. I'm just trying to protect the world. It's entirely up to you, but just saying.
If you aren't sure, ask if something counts. I'm pretty sure if not said no, like ever.
Or don't ask and just do.
Or just, don't ask and do. It's fine. So join us for a color work along.
Yeah.
It'll be fun.
It is fun.
I mean, I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm gonna cheat and I'm gonna start early because as soon as I find this yarn, I'm gonna cast it on. So
awesome.
And it will be before September 1st because today's the 21st. So.
And so this releases on the 25th or something?
Friday.
Friday is. Yeah, I guess that's the 25th.
Yeah. Yeah, so it'll give you a few days to get your stuff together. Instead of having one where we're like, we've already started it.
Well, we have to start ahead because I have to start ahead.
God.
Yes.
So don't get discouraged if we podcast a few days after this starts and I have part of a sweater done. I did not knit that in 4 days.
I might claim all kinds of things that could not be true.
And
hopefully no one will have seen the previous podcast where I talked extensively about my sweater.
One of the hats that I took with me was pressed flowers. You could do pressed flowers. You could do that hat. She's got a sweater. She's got a cardigan. She's got the shawl.
There's a million things to do with that pattern.
You know what? You could do that. That would count. Any of those would count.
Yeah.
There's a ton of really cute color work mittens.
Yeah, especially for the fall, fingerless mitts.
Fingerless mitts. That's why I was like, don't make it a whip. let's do something new, something fun.
Yeah.
Pick out a new pattern. Something
And a lot of
have
those
your
you can
eye
do with
on.
scraps from leftover projects, especially like the mitts I was thinking about.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
So hopefully sparked a little something.
Mm-hmm.
There's even like colorwork headband. Like, you know what?
Maybe be a tiny bit more ambitious. But if you're a new knitter, we will accept everything.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. So,
yeah. Just a quick little reminder.
Oh, yeah.
We have merchandise.
We have merch.
I've been using this bag for this pattern, and I kind of love this bag. Nice. It's like that nice shape that like is compact and it like sits right in a bag, and it's not, I don't know, it doesn't have strings. It's anyway.
And
2 different sizes, I think, right?
Yes, 2 different sizes.
T-shirts, mugs.
Yep.
Online.
Yep. Order them online.
Check it out.
Save the dates, March 21st to the 24th, 2024.
Yes, we have
for the retreat.
We have at least one thing lined up.
Planning going on right now to get everything lined up and the schedule lined up. So probably look for registration late September, October-ish would be my guess. Just giving you guys, heads up.
Because it will probably close in January, right?
Yeah, by the end of the year.
Yeah.
I think.
Holiday gift.
Right. I mean, just from a guesstimate standpoint, like, don't hold me to this because I'm still running numbers and doing budgets. It's probably going to be somewhere $800-900 for registration, and then hotels separately. So we got a special rate for the hotel, and it's also March, so it's not overly expensive for the hotel. You can share with somebody. So there's ways to
and the hotel is great.
Really
lots
nice.
Of amenities.
So nice.
Yeah.
So, so if people are trying to budget a little bit, like that's sort of what I'm looking at for pricing right now. Nothing's set in stone because we're trying to get these last few pieces put together to make sure we can bring you a really awesome retreat.
It's exciting to think about.
I'm pretty excited. So, so file that went away. Keep an eye out for it. We're getting the stuff together. So,
we are. We're getting organized.
Yep.
There is nothing. You have a huge basket, but I'm assuming we're not going.
You know what? No, like half of this is like the yarn that goes with my helmet bag.
Oh dear. And on that note,
that might be the title of our podcast, Helmet Bag.
Right.
Because why not?
Right. Sure. Oh dear. Yeah. It's all good. Oh, all right. Well, that's an hour and a half, so we should probably stop there.
Yes, we should.
It's time for me to go home and have something to eat, although I had lunch at 3.
Me too.
But
thanks for coming and hanging out with us for 90 minutes.
A little bit longer than anticipated. Wait till we actually have something to talk about.
Right? There was a lot of chit-chat this time.
We're going to keep you in all afternoon next time.
Totally fine.
Yeah.
So, we'll see you soon. Hopefully we'll see you in a couple of weeks. But if you don't, it's because something snapped and we've got
schedule you heard me rattle off for September.
Yeah. Something happened with the schedule.
Yes. I think I'm here most Mondays, so
okay,
we'll
cool. So we'll have to take a look and we'll get this sorted for you guys. So.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
See ya. Happy knitting.
Bye.
Crocheting.
Or crocheting or whatever. Whatever our chit chat is.
Yeah.
Here.
Which will not be about the things in my text. Which
right.
Oh golly.
Oh.
It's the Jen show.
I don't know what's happening today.
I think we have to give you a little bit more.
ability. I think it's like I just hit the mannequin.
Yeah.
Is that better?
Oh, yes, it is.
I think so.
I think so too. Sorry, let me get myself situated. Oof, this linen is sticky. It's sticking to the chair.
Oh, yeah.
Ugh, there we go. Oops. I'm over the mannequin's foot.
That's okay. The mannequin is crowding us. I'll push that mannequin back.
She'll probably. Oh, I guess I'm outside now. Oh.
Now, if the mannequin falls over because one wheel is off the carpet,
right,
I'm gonna. Oh my god, my kid with the apps.
What do you think? Survival simulator. That's all I could read on that little tiny piece of print.
I have to approve all of his apps that he wants to download onto his phone.
As he should get them approved.
It's been nonstop.
The new phone. Awesome.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. It's all right. It's,
And then on top of it all, you have your business partner also with a new phone. Pestering you. I can't get into Instagram, and fix this. Can you push a button so I can have access?
I will say with the kid, the ins and outs of how the phone work, like, I don't know what it is about their brains, but they just, if it's just so intuitive to them, I don't know.
Unlike the grown-ups who got a new phone and are like, I just needed to do what it did before. That's all I needed to do.
So the distraction or the issue is that he can't download apps without my permission. So it's one of the parental controls. There's a lot of great parental controls on iPhones, which is why people have them for their children.
Yes.
But he needs to he needs to dial it back a little bit.
And just in trial.
Yeah, I just ignore them. Like, there's 3 or 4 stacked up on there. He's at a friend's house right now, so God knows what's happening.
He'll be 16 by the time you get home.
Right, I know, right. Also, my child is not afraid to text at all, so now I have my child can complain to me when in person and also via text while he's not in person with me, which is a big change. No, it's fun.
And a little less exciting.
Yeah.
How was your trip to the Adirondacks?
It was nice.
Did it rain?
Of course it did.
We haven't gone 24. We still have not gone 24 hours without rain.
So, we were on Shroon Lake.
Oh, yeah. Beautiful.
Is lovely. It's not too far from Lake George.
But just far enough that it's not quite as populated.
No, not quite as populated. Yeah. Still quite a few boats and stuff, but not Lake George.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Which is pretty crazy for those that haven't been there.
I know. We had found this great little cabin that was right on the lake. Lake access, beach access.
Yeah.
1950s cabin. Probably has not been updated since the 1950s.
Did it have running water?
It had running water. It had electricity.
It had a toilet.
It had hot water.
Probably
it had a stove that we never used the entire time we were there. So we did a lot of eating out, which is
campfire.
Fine. We didn't actually do a campfire. It was too wet. Yes.
Let me just take a wild guess. What?
But the upside of having the cabin right on the lake was that in between rain showers, and even sometimes when it was raining, my kids were out in the lake swimming. Yeah. We didn't have to go anywhere. I could sit on the screened-in porch, watch them.
No mosquitoes. Knitting.
No mosquitoes on the porch. Mostly. There was a couple that would get in, but wasn't you weren't inundated.
No.
The lake was really high. So, the beach was gone. In fact, my kids were there with their little masks and snorkels, and they were like, that's a fire pit. The lake was probably 3-ish feet higher than...
Did we mention that it's rained a lot here?
A lot.
Yeah, everywhere, not just in Vermont, in the Northeast. And it's so, with everything else that's happened, it's a little heartbreaking.
Yes.
But,
I'm going to say this week in show notes, so I'm mentioning it here, but I put them in show notes. I put a bunch of different links for places that are still taking donations for flood relief in Vermont, around the Barrie Community Relief Fund, Montpelier Strong Recovery Fund, one in Lamoille County, Okemo, and a couple of Vermont. I was looking for one in Orleans County because that also was hit really hard, but I couldn't find anything up there. Yeah. So I put the Vermont Food Bank and the Vermont Community Foundation, which are both taking donations for flood relief. Yeah. I also included some links to fire relief for Maui. Yeah. These are ones that Kate Solomon is doing the fundraisers right now. So I took her 3 places that she was having people donate to and listed them here. So if people want to help out, I'm sure we'll have some more for California and Southwest, but that's 2 happening right now. So I wanted to mention that without sort of belaboring it, that I put those in there if people were interested.
Yeah.
So.
And thank you if you do something.
Yes.
We have definitely
it's been
all donated. It's heartbreaking everywhere.
Yeah.
And particularly, to have all these, it's just so, it is what it is, and we all know, but it's so bizarre. All these fires, and yet we have so much rain that we don't know what to do with it. And, it's just, Mother Nature is out of sync.
I mean, my favorite this summer was the juxtaposition of the rainstorm that canceled the event we were going to be at in July, followed by super humid, smoky weather, super hot.
Yeah,
so it was like, it's
baffling.
Yeah. So take a look at those if you're able, just
or
more
pass them on to somebody else.
Yep. Yeah, I figured I could
that's
include
good.
those.
I'm glad you did that.
Yeah. All right. So back to vacation. Back to vacation. So so it was fine.
A small solemn interlude, and then.
But I mean, the lake was super high, so we went over like Shroon Lake itself. The town has a really nice beach.
Yeah.
Lifeguarded beach, and it was the lifeguard stands were in the lake.
Yeah. It's crazy.
The beach was like this big, and it should have been like this big.
Yeah. That is insane. It's just crazy. Yeah.
But it rained. The day that it rained the most during the day, we went into Lake George and went to Fort William Henry. My husband's into history, Revolutionary War, French and Indian War stuff, and we have, for as long as we've lived here, we have never been to that fort. We've been to every other one that's in driving distance, but not that one for some reason.
Oh, good to check that off your list.
Yeah, so that one's done. And then, wandered down to the outlets.
Yeah.
Talk
about busy. Woo!
Wow.
Yeah, I drive through there a lot in the summer. I used to when I was traveling back and forth all the time, and it's a crazy town. Yeah,
no, it was. But both the kids got some new shoes, so that was
school shopping.
A little bit I was hoping we were going to do some more clothing shopping for them, but I think they just got super overwhelmed, with all of the crowds and they couldn't process to focus. Yeah. I mean, I was having a hard time, and I'm a grown up, so
and they're all split up all over the place, so it's kind of painful to walk around there. And there's a main highway that runs down the middle of it, basically. So it's
But I mean, it's so much traffic, foot traffic back and forth that road. Just part of the reason why it gets all backed up.
Right.
Also, a couple.
There's been a person who's complained periodically about that.
A couple weirdly placed lights as well that aren't really in sync. It feels like.
And the driveways aren't.
Yeah, they don't line up.
They're just off from each other sometimes, which is.
It's a weird stretch.
Who's in charge of planning and zoning in that town?
Right?
Is my question.
I think it's technically Queensbury.
Yes, I believe you're correct.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. It's.
I did have some fun in the Eddie Bauer store, which I enjoy.
I'm fond of the LL Bean store that's there.
That one was okay. I didn't make it into that one. Why did I not? I think I got dragged into a different store with one of my kids. But Eddie Bauer has that nice outdoor clothing for men and women, but their clothes seem to fit women's bodies better.
I've had mixed results with some of their stuff, but yeah.
More designed for curves versus a couple of other outdoor companies who I will not name on this podcast, who I'm pretty sure just take the tags off of the men's clothes and be like, these are women's clothes.
Or maybe the teenage boys straight up and down clothes. Yeah.
No, they're not.
Right. Yes. This would not go around my leg, let alone my waist.
Right.
Oh, and it's a large.
Right. Yeah. So there's a couple of those out there.
We all know who they are.
That make me a little disgruntled, but
yes.
Yeah. So that's what it is.
Yeah. Well, that sounds like it was fun. That's good. Yeah. I don't really know what I did for the last couple of weeks.
There was lots. We had a dock that was shared with the cabin that was also in the same general vicinity. Those people parked their boat there. We jumped off of it because apparently we're those people. We're just there for jumping off the dock. It was fun.
That's good. Yeah. That's good.
There was a market shortage of people jumping off of docks. There were docks all over the place and people in and out on boats, and we were the only people jumping off the dock.
That's good. Someone has to.
Oh, and William and I took canoes out, or kayaks out. They had kayaks there. We brought our canoe with us. But William and I took their kayaks out. Mm-hmm. They were very flippy. I'm used to I have an Old Town Loon, and it's very wide bottom. It's very stable.
Yeah.
Theirs were not. I went to go get into the kayak and immediately flipped it. Like, it's very exciting. I have a bruise on my leg, sand all down me. It was like, you know what? It's fine. But we took the kayaks out and we were just kind of hanging out there, and we were looking at these loons. There was a family of loons. Yeah. They went down and they came right back up, like within 2 feet of our boats, because we were just hanging out there being all quiet. I didn't have my phone with me because I forgot my wet bag.
Maybe
my
just as
bag.
well.
You know what? It was fine. It was really cool. Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, and out there that would have been a bad spot to flip out. I had forgotten how big those birds were.
Yeah. They look so small because they're always far away.
Because they're always far away. They're big. They're like goose-sized.
Yeah.
They're big.
It is funny how you look at them, and then this morning I started walking again today, which is very exciting. And there was a GBH great blue heron that took off right in front of me.
Also big birds.
Yes, and when you're that close, I mean, he was like maybe 50 feet away from me, maybe not even. And he was like, barely over the road. He's just this huge bird with his legs hanging down.
Oh, yeah. Enormous.
They're so slow to get off the ground. But anyway, just beautiful.
Yeah.
But
I think of, when I think of a loon, I know,
I think
in
of
my
him
mind,
as being
I'm like,
they're
like a duck, like a mallard, kind of, like you could put them in your pocket. No, they're enormous. And they have like these really red
the red
eyes. They kind of look like aliens.
Yeah, they're
really.
On
they're
point.
Feathers, and they're just so sleek, and it's
and got spots. Right? They have spots on their heads.
The ring around their neck and the dark blue feathers, and
they're like an advancing force.
They're like the special forces of bird world, the waterfowl world.
Oh dear!
But it was cool because one of the adults came up with a fish in its mouth.
Oh, that's exciting!
Yeah,
Your kids must have been super.
William was. It was funny though because mom and dad popped up, and one of the parents had a fish in its mouth, and the two juveniles had sort of wandered off. And fish mouth tried to call, but the fish was in its mouth, so it was like, and you could the kids are just wandering. I was like, oh look, even bird kids don't listen.
Great. Kiddos, I got some snacks over here for you. I'm not interested.
The Pinocchio's ignoring you. So then the other one was calling, and then the kids were still, and I was like, oh, okay, well, it's not just my kids. Universal.
That's funny.
But yes, the garbled loon call with fish in the mouth was...
I think it's great. Nature is awesome, and so it's nice to have some time with nature, especially to have the contrast between your trip to New York City and your trip to the lake.
Night day.
Yeah, it's good to have both balance. Yeah. Well, as I said, I don't remember what I've done for the last 2 weeks. I've been working a lot lately. But I have some friends coming next week, and that I have not seen since before COVID, so I'm super excited. Yeah, friends from college, which will be great. And and September is like trip.
Brother and his family are supposed to be here later this week.
Are they coming here?
Yes.
I guess they would be, right? Because all your family's here. Are they staying with you?
No, oh God, no.
No. Well, I don't know.
No.
Just checking.
Nope.
Are they staying in Burlington or?
No, they rented Airbnb somewhere.
Oh.
I don't know where. They won't tell me.
Strong.
I don't know.
Do you think you'll see them while they're here?
Yes. Yes.
Kidding. Sorry.
I don't know the answer to that question either. No, I will.
That's okay. My sister lives 5 miles away, and I've seen her once in the last month, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah. Anyway, my parents live anyway.
Yeah.
It's time for a family family reconnection.
No,
this weekend.
we will see them. It's just
Yes,
it's a
I'm just kidding.
running joke in
I'm
my
sure.
household with my brother.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Families are. There's always some interest there.
That's assuming they are even able to fly out tomorrow.
Yeah.
Like, so
Yeah.
Tuesday, today's Monday, so we'll see. Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
Probably they'll be here.
Mm-hmm. And his kids are your kids' age? Or no,
His
younger.
older one is the same age as Abigail,
Okay,
and then
I
he's
couldn't
got a
remember.
younger one.
Okay.
So yeah,
That's good. You
Yeah.
haven't seen them for a while.
since before COVID,
Oh,
like
yeah.
4 years.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because we were supposed to go out there last year.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah.
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 Yeah. Right. So I shouldn't feel bad about not seeing my
No.
family who lives here in town for more than a month.
No, no. So anyway, so it'll be
Yeah.
good. I'm gonna
Yeah.
take a few more days off of work.
Yeah.
Good thing my boss is really understanding.
Right.
If any of you
Yeah.
are new, I'm self-employed. So joke is
Right.
I'm the boss.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. True. It is good. I am not self-employed, but I am also essentially in charge
High
in some
enough
way.
up, so
Yes, right.
boss.
I'm the director of our Vermont office, so
Oh, well.
I'm allowed to
Nice.
do what I want.
There you go.
Within reason, but unfortunately that also comes with the caveat of having to,
Take care of stuff that
Yeah.
runs amok.
yeah,
Yeah.
last week was a week, so what are you going to do? Just deal with it,
Yep. Totally.
but it's not making my life any simpler right now, but that's okay.
Well, so it goes.
Yeah.
I started like looking ahead a little bit to like Rybeck and
I know, you're sending me all these texts and I was like, oh, so sorry.
well, you know what sparked it. So we
Excuse me.
we rented that place.
Hmm.
We still have that place rented.
Yes. Now we have more
well,
of it rented.
But the property sold.
Oh.
It was for sale and it sold.
Oh.
And the good news is that the people that bought it are still keeping it as Airbnb. It
At
sounds
least through
like,
October. I don't care what they do
yeah, well,
after
it sounds
October.
like it
but
was a whole, like everything, like the furniture, like everything was sold.
it was
Yeah.
quasi-commercial transaction.
But Airbnb won't transfer reservations.
I wondered. I thought you
Yeah.
were just changing the nights.
I did do that,
Mhm.
but what happened was they had to cancel the existing reservation, refund everything that's been paid
Oh, yeah.
under that, and then I had to rebook. They sent me a special link to like rebook new chart. Like anyway, it was one of these things.
And it was
that
further
like-
complicated by the fact that you wanted to add a night, I'm sure.
No, I had already added the night.
Oh, you had? Okay.
Yeah, I had
Yeah.
already added the extra
Yes.
night. So I'm actually kind of glad that that was already added, because then
That would have made it more complicated.
it would have made it a lot more complicated.
Mm-hmm.
So it's
But
baffling,
Airbnb got,
right?
they just know what they're doing.
Right, but also it's baffling to me that they haven't figured out a mechanism for how to transfer
I'm guessing
those
because the
reservations
owners,
from one owner to another.
but they're individual. Each owner does their own thing, probably, right? Within the bigger system.
Yeah.
But yeah.
They do, but you would
Yeah.
think.
Yeah.
So
But I'm guessing that they did it in such a way that no one else could have booked it in the in-between times. I don't know.
I didn't wait around to like,
Yeah.
as soon as I was watching for the email to come for rebooking,
Yeah.
and like did it immediately. Like
Yeah.
I didn't mess around with it
Yeah.
because I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So who knows?
Well, good news.
The good news is
We're still going.
I rebooked the same place that we already had booked
I'm glad to hear it because
For
it
the-
looks awesome.
for the number of days that we wanted.
Yeah.
Now,
It's exciting.
but I re-looked at the map. It's like 20 minutes to where Wool and Folk is, because that's at a new
Yeah.
location.
Oh, right.
And
I
then
gotta
it's
look that
20 minutes to the fairgrounds. It's like
Like
right
opposite
in the middle.
directions?
Yeah. It's
Okay,
like
well, that's
right
good.
in the middle
Perfect.
between the two.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's a great location. It's like really close to Kingston.
Good.
Like right outside Kingston on the Rotary.
Oh,
a
yeah,
little
yeah,
bit.
yeah. Yeah, okay.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
Awesome.
Oh.
It looks beautiful, so
It does
it'll be
look
fine.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know it's not hard not to get excited about that. I have a trip to Maine and 2 trips to California that are almost back to back, but not quite, and a trip to Dallas before we go to Rybeck. So unfortunately,
It's only like 2 months before.
I know.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes,
Wow.
we're going to Maine to close the cottage, not Labor Day weekend, but the following one, only because between my friend and I, that was the only weekend we had.
Yep.
I would have liked to. I have 2, and then I go to California the weekend after that for a meeting to San Diego for a conference that runs like Thursday. I don't know. Anyway, and then I come back, and then 2 weeks later I fly back to go to Monterey and for a conference.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, and I come back from Monterey on Sunday evening because I refuse to do a red eye anymore. Period. So I'm
Right.
traveling all day on Sunday, both days. I get back at 9:00 or so on Sunday night, and then I either have to change my flight back so that I go to Dallas instead, because otherwise I'm going to get up and get on the 6
I
a.m.
would
flight to
change
Dallas.
the flight to Dallas. Just go from Monterey
Yes.
to Dallas.
Yeah, I
'cause-
think it makes more sense to
Wow.
do that. I didn't know about those 2
Right.
things, obviously. I made
Right.
the one reservation. I haven't made the other one yet. The other one has not been 100% confirmed yet, but yes.
Yeah, I would. 100%.
Yeah.
That's way too many time zones to be flying through.
Yes, and Monterey, they wanted us to fly all the way in rather than to fly and drive. And I was like, really? Because that's 3 legs.
Yeah.
One connection is fine. I'm used to that from Vermont, but like 2 is like 1 too many. But it's fine. It's fine.
It's fine.
We'll assume that I shouldn't joke about it. We'll just assume that
Everything's going to be
everything
a go.
that's happening right now is not going to.
Impact.
I think actually it sounds like the worst is over. I think in terms of the storm out there right now. So, not that there couldn't be some repercussions, but like it's already been downgraded to a tropical depression. I think so.
Yeah.
Not that there aren't other storms in the
Right.
Pacific.
Right.
Anyway. So
Anyway.
Yeah.
Well,
sorry.
that's a lot of traveling.
Yeah, and then so I'll be back on the 4th or 5th, and we go to Rybeck on the whatever day that is.
18th, 19th,
So I have a couple weeks,
19th.
but I'm
maybe.
starting a new watercolor class in the meantime.
Okay. Well,
on
then we're going the
Wednesday
19th.
evenings, which is why.
Morning of the 19th.
And I'm already going to miss the first one because of my trip to Dallas. So I
Okay.
would like to maybe not miss another one. So
Okay.
yes,
That's fine.
so yeah,
I had that
Yeah.
moment where I was like, oh, we could go down Wednesday night. And then,
yeah.
like, as you start to think through the logistics, sometimes you're like,
To what end?
really
Right.
gonna make sense?
I had it. Well, here's an even crazier thought. My class was from 6 to 8, and
You're
I was
we
like,
could drive down
if we
after.
left at 8, what time would we get there?
Midnight.
Yes, would
Yeah.
it be worth it? But I don't really think so.
Probably not.
I would rather get up
I
in
would
the
rather
morning.
get up in the morning and leave at like 8 a.m.
Yeah,
and be down there like by noon.
yeah. So we'll have to look at our meeting calendars and correlate so that we can. Yeah.
All right.
Anyway,
Anyway,
all of that by way of saying
20
we'll be at Rybeck
25
and
minutes
Woolen
later.
Folk.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
start marking your calendars.
Come
We'd
say
love to say
hi.
hello.
Apparently there is a whole preview session at Woolen Folk this year.
Yes.
Thursday night with like a dinner thing for folks and like
Yeah.
walking through where the vendors are, and if you do that, you also have admission for the next day as well. So you can come
Right.
back on Friday.
And we should clarify that we are helping our good friend Michelle at Willens and Nasha at Woolen Folk. We are not just spectators.
No, we are
We're going there to work.
working.
I mean, honestly.
We're working.
Right. Hard. Very, very, very hard.
We do. I knit a sock last year standing in the booth.
Yeah, I
knit
stood
a
the
heel for a
entire
sock.
time, if I remember correctly, and that could have been the beginning of my Achilles tendonitis. So I'm just kidding, it's not, but it might have been. So I think I'm going to sit a little bit here this year, every now
Right.
and then, even though that seems to be.
I think
pretty much
probably what we should do. Look, I'm already business planning for Michelle, so sorry, Michelle. Is like rotate whoever's working the
Yes.
register. So because that was a sitting job last year,
Yeah.
and just to like help
Yeah.
rotate people through. But anyway, it's fine.
Let's figure it out.
We'll figure it
On
out.
the 18th of
Yeah.
October.
Wait. Just like last year.
Right. Except for Michelle won't want to meet then, so maybe the 17th. Because she'll be driving down on Wednesday.
Yes.
Yes.
So, anyway,
that's enough. I thought we would have nothing to say in this.
I know,
25
and
minutes,
look, and we just
there
filled
are.
a whole bunch of stuff.
That's right.
So,
Let's do this thing.
all right.
Oops.